All right, greetings eaters. This is the Obesity Sherpa coming to you as always, well not always, but often, from my kitchen in sunny Las Vegas, Nevada. It's April, but we're still up into the 80s, so it's pretty awesome today. I love living here after a lifetime of living in the rainy Pacific Northwest, which I didn't mind the rain so much, but the traffic and other stuff, that got old. Today, as a proud Northwesterner, or proud former Northwesterner, I'm going to teach you we're going to learn how to make quickie ramen today. So ramen is a very involved process. So is pho, or Chinese hand-pulled noodles. So are all of the different kinds of noodle soups. Thai, I mean, I'm obsessed with all this stuff though. If you're from the Northwest, it's cold and damp and wet and you like something warm to keep you warm and warm up your stomach. And for me, that's soup. I am not a coffee drinker. There are not quite as many pho restaurants up there as there are Starbucks and the little drive-by coffee stands and all that stuff, but there's a lot of pho. There's a lot of pho, not as much ramen as there should be. You kind of have to drive for that. But here in Las Vegas, there actually is a lot of ramen. So that's cool, and it's really good ramen too. I haven't entirely learned how to make ramen, but I do know how to make different components to kick up the pre-made bowls that you can buy at the store. When I was in college, I learned about a thing called the Asian Noodle Index. It's used to determine how things are going economically in the Asian countries. And basically when people are buying more cheap noodle dishes, and that means the economy is not great because people are having to buy cheaper things to live on. Now, of course, you can buy the really cheap ramen packets. I don't know what they cost now. They used to cost a dime a hit. Back when I was in high school, I usually buy them in a big multi-pack from Costco or Sam's Club or wherever. But in any case, just interesting things about the Orient there. But what we're going to do today is we're going to take some pork and we're going to make our not cheap but lower cost bowls that I got from Costco. I think I probably paid about 12 or 15 bucks for a pack of about 8 of these. And we're going to kick it up and make an actual decent ramen meal. Let's take a look at what we have here. Before we get started, what shoes am I wearing today? It's starting to get warm, not really shoes. These are like the Sanooks, but these are actually Crocs, believe it or not. And again, they look kind of like old man shoes, at least that's what my wife and kids tell me, but they are very comfortable. I like the way the Sanooks look better, but the insoles on these things are real comfortable for a guy in his 40s who's maybe carrying a little bit of extra weight. I mean, I have to because, as I've mentioned, my credentials do hang over my belt. So here's what we've got. We've got some of these. I'm making dinner for myself and the family tonight. I'd like to have some vegetables. There's a lot of things you could do. You should roast some garlic. I mean, that's always a good option. I decided to get I had some cauliflower in the fridge, so I decided to go with that. So I'm going to cook some of that up in a wok that will kind of add to our noodle bowls once they're done. We're going to soft boil some eggs. I won't show you how to do that. You can Google that. Basically, you get your water boiling, you put the eggs in a bowl of warm tap water so that they kind of hit room temperature, and then you slowly lower them into the boiling water and you cook them for about 6 minutes or so. We're going to take pork tenderloin. You can do this with regular pork loin. You can do this with a lot of stuff. If you want to get pork bellies or whatever, this is just easy to come by. Pork loin is usually very reasonably priced. The tenderloin's a little more expensive. This actually came in a 2-pack, so there were 2 of these, and the total cost was just over $16, and that was from Sam's Club. So this is actually 2 separate pieces in here, and this is delicious. This is the best part of it. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to cook that up in a pan, and then we're going to pop it into the oven. So I'll demonstrate how to do that. So we'll start with cooking up the pork loin and then the cauliflower, and we'll move on to the rest of it, and then we'll go from there. We're going to brown these pork tenderloins in a skillet on the stove top, and we're just using a little bit of cooking oil to do that, and we will test them with some Johnny's seasoning salt. You can use whatever seasoning salt you like, but Johnny's is the hands-down favorite amongst my family members and friends. It's going to cook until it's golden brown, and then we're going to pop it in the oven. We've got our cauliflower. I'm going to cook it in a wok. This is just a nice small wok. I've got a little bit of cooking oil in there. dump it in there, put a little more cooking oil on top, lid it so it cooks and steams together. Okay, our cauliflower's come along nicely, and what we're going to do next is, just for some flavor, we're going to add some soy sauce to it. Our meat is ready to go into the oven. This is a thermometer that has a probe. The thermometer sits outside of the oven, and then there's an alarm that goes off when it gets to the preset temperature. We're ready to go into the oven now. So we've got the oven set at 375. We've got our probe in there, you can see that. The little wire leading to the thermometer. So this is just gonna pop right in there. We're gonna close that up. And I've set the temp to about 148. You want the pork can be cooked to 148. So this is pork tenderloin. Same deal with just regular pork loin. And then the alarm will go off when we get to that temperature. Our cauliflower is ready to go. Perfect. You don't want it cooked to the point of being mushy. You want it to still be somewhat firm. With these things, you can use whatever kind you like. There's different versions. You can just buy noodle, like noodles in a pillow pack with seasoning. These are kind of some of the better ones. Just follow the instructions on the actual package and make this exactly the way it says. So go ahead and just pinch that down and let it sit for a few minutes. This has been sitting for a few minutes, so I've gone ahead and put them into a larger bowl so I can assemble my ramen. All right, so now I'm going to add the sauce, the seasoning packet, and the sauce packet that came with it. We have reached our temp. There you go, that is perfect. Perfect. Okay, we're going to let that sit for a few minutes. To finish this beauty off, we're going to go ahead and we're going to take a couple of our soft-boiled eggs. Let's drop them right in there. If you ever had ramen, you know that's an important part of it. And we'll take some of our roasted pork tenderloin. We've got some bean sprouts, so we'll throw some of those in there too. And again, bamboo shoots, you can use zucchini. So many things go in here. I mean, it's just good to have some vegetables and some texture in there. I love cauliflower. Let's go ahead and drop some veggies on there. All right. And there you have it. Quick, not entirely homemade, but assisted homemade. How's that? Ramen. This is going to taste really good. Maybe not quite as good as the stuff at the ramen shops over on Spring Mountain here, but it's going to taste very good, and it's going to taste a lot better than just something that I warmed up and warmed up some water, warmed up in the microwave. Have it. Recommended restaurants this week. I'm going to give you two in my new hometown of Las Vegas here. Like I said, the ramen here is better than it was in Seattle. My two favorite places are both on Durango Boulevard between Warm Springs and the 215 Beltway, and those are Ramen Kobo and Oja Noodle House. I love both of them for different reasons. They're both very good. If you're a local here or if you're coming to visit, just know that when you visit Las Vegas, the good food is not on the Strip. I can tell you this right now. I don't go down there for much anything. I go ride my Harley down there every week or so to make sure everything's still in place. But I really only go down to the Strip when I have friends in town and want to go. Thank you for watching. Please share this video with all your friends. Anyone who needs help getting dinner on the table for a busy family, please share this with them. And hit that like button. Please subscribe. And hit the bell to let you know when we post up new stuff. We've run out of time again for Jimmy Kimmel. Someday we'll learn how to make his famous squirrel pie, but it's not going to be today. Thanks again, eaters, and we will see you soon.